Build it, Lord. Hey, you guys, how you guys are feeling today? This is LaDon. I am in the house. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying your day and having a blast and having a good life, you know? But if you like my video, like, and if you want to subscribe, and share with all your friends and family and all the people you want. But what I want to talk about is today is people will never understand my dream. People will never understand my dream. You know, when I was young, um, I was very quiet. You know, I didn't really talk to nobody. I didn't really find myself or nothing like that. But it was hard during my time, you know, because I didn't know where I was going to go and what I was going to do in my life. But there was a time where I was staying with my mom and dad when I was young. I think I was 17 or 16. Um, they had Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor at the time. And Richard Pryor was on this tape. We used to have tapes. There was a record. Was it a record? It was a tape back then. And I heard Richard Pryor, but I didn't really understand him, you know. But during that time, I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know. And I heard first time, I think I bought Richard, or my mom had Richard Pryor. And I remember this guy speaking about all kind of things. I was too young to understand, but I understand a little bit of it. And he was on this mic, you know, and I heard this, like, he had no sounds in the back. It was just him and this mic, and it was powerful to me. And I remember the joke when Richard Pryor said that changed my life. He was like, he came home, he was like, hey baby, he was drunk. Yeah. Hey baby, he was coming from a bar. Hey baby, how you doing, baby? And his girl was, I believe his wife was sitting there like, Richard, where you been? He's like, oh, baby, sure, I've been at the bar. I just been chilling and enjoying myself and everything. And she was like, how many drinks did you drink? You drunk. He's like, yeah, baby, I bought one drink for everybody at the bar. And I was just like thrilled by this man, Richard Pryor. And he was like, she was like, I don't want you to be leaving like that. That was his wife was saying. And you should be at home at a certain time. Richard was like, oh, don't worry about it, baby. I'm going to fuck you tonight. Woo! I'm going to fuck you tonight, baby. And she was like, for real, babe? He's like, yeah, I'm going to fuck you tonight. I'm going to tear your ass up and everything. I'm going to tear you up, baby. She's like, come on, Richard. And Richard went to the bedroom. Woo! Took off his clothes. Woo! I'm going to tear you up, baby. He went to sleep on her, and that was just the funniest joke, man. I died laughing. I'm just like, wow, this man was just so amazing. And during that time, I was just like, wow, I was so thrilled by this guy. Like, and I listened to Bill Cosby, and I listened to a lot of people, and I was just like, these people are funny. And I didn't know, man. And I just knew they were comedians. I know they were funny, but somebody told me they were comedians. And during that time, I didn't know how to make people laugh, but I always was good at making people laugh. So I had this dream in the back of my head. And after that, I just dreamed of being a comedian. I was just like, oh man, it would be cool when I grew up and make people laugh. And I just start making people laugh out of nowhere. I was good at making people laugh. Like, people would just laugh. My friends, my family, they would just laugh and laugh and laugh and everything. And I was just on the road of just, I want to be a comedian. So I start saying to myself, How I'm going to be a comedian? How I'm going to be a comedian? I was thinking about that for years and years and years and years. And one day, everybody told me I was funny everywhere I went. I got written up on jobs so many times. I knew I suffered on jobs because I always had this vision in my head of making people laugh. I was good at it. I didn't care about working for a job. It was just like I was not cluttered. I was stuck in this dead end jobs, and I hated jobs. I was the person that sang. I was the person that got written up. And I'm talking about written up 40 times and never got fired. On every job I got written up. Because I was just a funny, I was a weird type of man. And I was just figuring like, man, I want to do comedy. So I said to myself, let me do comedy. So I did comedy and I did comedy. Not comedy. But during that time, before I did comedy, I used to hear people cheering in a football field. Every time I went to a football field, people be cheering, yeah, woo, yeah, woo. Used to cheer and cheer. Every time I went to a football game, anything with a big stadium, it could have been a Laker game, it could have been a football stadium, I could just see people cheering and going, yeah, he's funny, yeah, he's funny. And I heard that voice in my head everywhere I went. He's funny. So I tried comedy. And it was a hard road, man. It was a hard road. And I just didn't understand, like, how can I do this? And I failed, and I failed, and I failed, and I failed. And nobody understood my dream. Everybody would tell you like, oh man, you can do this. They give you insight, but that dream's inside of your mind and it sticks with you wherever you go. And I try to explain, I understand why I be a comedian, but people are like, oh man, you gotta go to the Laugh Factory. You gotta go here, you gotta go there. It was never a good insight. And I had to learn. But that was something I always wanted to do. Richard Pryor was the one that made me want to make people laugh and do comedy. And that was the brilliance of him. And during that time, I fight for years with that voice in my head. And I feel sometimes that I because I didn't pursue it, God took that from me. There was years that I couldn't make nobody laugh. I think that sometimes because you're not pursuing what God wants you to do, he'll take it from you. That's how I feel. And he did it 3 times. And I prayed to get it back. And I got it back. But then I looked at stuff in my life, and I looked at the Bible days when Noah was building a boat in the middle of the desert. You know, he was building it. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to put the... Think about that vision that God had in your head, but nobody understand. You know? It's a vision in your head. It's just, you know, he was building the boat, like in the middle of the desert. Everybody thought he was crazy. Let me put the boat up, okay, but he was cutting the wood off. Okay, it's gonna be measured like that. Okay, put the needle, and he just, it was in his head. The biggest boat to put the animals on. Think about how many animals, how big that boat was. And it was a dream that God put in your head going, yeah, okay, you're going to put the nail over here, and then we're going to put the wood over here, we're going to put the basement on this side. It was just a vision that nobody understands. Nobody understands a dream. And it comes to pass. Joseph told people about dreams. And people didn't believe in his dreams. You learn in life that People do not understand your dream and why you want to do it so much. But they are there to enjoy your dream. It's like God gives you a plan in your mind and you're like, that's what you're supposed to do. But a lot of people die not pursuing their dreams. They work every day. They go home in stress. But I believe that God put a dream in everybody. But the reason a lot of people do not do it is because of fear. The fear is the devil. And a lot of people just give up. And I understand when you give up because you just think it's never going to happen. It's like when you first go to college and you're ready to go to school, you get enrolled, you're all so happy. You get enrolled, and you get enrolled, you go pick the classes you got, then you go pick the classes, and then they got all these students in there, everybody jam-packed, and you ask them, hey, can you add me? Can you add me? And then the teacher's like, come back next week. We're full right now. And so many people want to be added. Then you have the intro of the class, and then the first assignment comes out. People still hanging in there. Oh, people still talking. Then a few weeks later, you gotta take a test. Then a few more people just drop and drop. And now you're the end of the semester and you're at your final. There was 100 people in that class. Now you're here at your final. Only 15 people stayed. It's just, it sounds good, it looks good, but it's not fun to do the work. It's like nobody understands what you're doing until you make the dream happen. And I learned in life that little voice stays with me in my head. It only stays in my head when I'm not doing nothing to achieve it, or trying to pursue it, or not make it happen. But nobody will understand what we're doing. It's because it's not meant for nobody to understand. It's only what God wants you to understand. It's just what it is. So we have good days and we have bad days. There's days I come up here and I can do a video every day. And there's days I just don't feel it. But what I learned in life is that the bad times is when you know your strength. Not during the good times. It's when you don't want to feel like doing a video, but you still do the video. And that's a dream. A dream is to keep going when nobody understands what you're doing. It's in the dark. And that's where I'm at. Do I get mad at where I'm at right now? No. Because I'm doing something about it. Sometimes in life, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your brother will never understand. Because only God gave you that vision for you only to understand. So what I'm saying is, people will never understand what you're dreaming. But the number one key is to have your dream come true, is to keep going. But a lot of people can't say that. If everybody can do YouTube, the world would be on it. But what I learned in life is that you have to wait your turn. Life is about waiting your turn in your dreams, for your house, for your car, for your vacation. You just gotta wait your turn. So I'm gonna keep going. But anyways, I had a good time with you guys today. And people will never understand your dream. My name's LaDawn. Bye.